Brilliant. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Hive Sheung Wan, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Today, we are very honored to have Fanny Moritz here with us. She is a social entrepreneur. And also the founder of Now No Waste, which is an e-commerce platform that offers alternatives to your daily disposables. So, how are you, Fanny?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. So you have been advocating the zero waste lifestyle, and you also have the zero waste e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
So could you tell us, to begin with, what exactly is zero waste, and could you give us a little bit of background information about this movement?
Yeah. So hi everyone, my name is Fanny Moritz and I'm a zero waste advocate here in Hong Kong since the past 3 years. The zero waste movement is actually to reduce our waste, to reduce our daily waste before we think about recycling. So there is the rule of the 5R. The first one is to refuse what's coming from outside. The second one is to reduce what we already have. The third one is to reuse, and only at the end we think about recycling the rest and compost the food waste that we have left. But actually, the food waste, I think there is no battery anymore.
Okay.
But actually, the food...
Let's just try to...
Yeah, it's fine. It's more about reducing our physical stuff that we throw away every single day. It's also thinking twice before we want to buy something else, and also to reduce the amount of products that we buy online, for example, to avoid the carbon footprint. It's also buying things that are more local, etc., etc. So it's not only about, it's also thinking more further than that. Yeah.
Seems like the mic doesn't like us.
Yeah.
So how did you first come across this zero waste idea?
Yeah. So I was based in Hong Kong since I arrived 8 years ago. And 3 years ago, I found an article online speaking about the pioneer of the zero waste movement, Bea Johnson. She succeeded to fit her annual waste of trash into a handy-sized jar of this size with her family of 4, with her husband, 2 kids, and 1 dog. And you know, so I thought I was eco-friendly because my parents taught me eco-friendly habits when I was younger, such as turn off the lights when we leave a room, or also don't take shower too long or bath because we want to save water. And also to put the right waste into the right recycle bins. So I thought I was doing my part. I thought I was eco-friendly, but at the end I was still throwing away every week 3 bins full of trash. And so that's why I decided, when I seen the picture of her waste, her annual waste, to reduce my daily waste and to look for alternatives in Hong Kong. And unfortunately, I didn't find any reusable alternatives here 3 years ago. There was no stainless steel straws, there was no reusable cups, etc. And so that's how I get the idea, because I had, thank you. I had 10 years background in the creation and development of websites. And so that's how I get the idea to merge my passion and my expertise and my background to create Now No Waste, the platform which sells reusable products to avoid all the disposable ones that we throw away every day.
So back to Bea Johnson first. So you said she could fit her end waste into a handy-sized jar.
I know.
How
it sounds
is that
crazy.
possible with the family too? Have you tried zero waste lifestyle yourself?
So I'm trying a zero waste lifestyle since the past 3 years now. But I don't know how my waste looks like because I live with some roommates and they are not zero waste at all. yet. And so it's impossible for me now to see what exactly I throw away, but I throw, compared to before, like I reduce my waste at least 80% already.
How long does it take for you to make that transition from, living a normal lifestyle to this zero waste lifestyle?
I would say it's not going to happen in 1 day or 1 month even, because apparently with the statistics, for something to become a habit in our routine, and so that's why now I think you need to try at least for 2 or 3 years to be sure that you reduce your waste as much as possible and to see some benefits.
What is the biggest thing you have to change to make that happen?
You really need to change your behaviors and and rethink twice before you buy something. And also the best thing that happened to me is, I'm a very bad cook, and so usually I never cook anything at home. And trying to be zero waste, I decided, to do my own mascara, even if it didn't work the first time. My friend looking like, yeah, my own mascara. So I went to Just Green to buy some products for me to try the first recipe. And I tried it on her first, and she lived in Central and me in Saigon, and she looked like a panda when she went back home. So unfortunately, it didn't work the first time. But yeah, so and I have cornstarch powder at home, and I have so many things that I use only for my cosmetics instead of using them for my kitchen. So yeah, it helps me to find time to do something that I really love and I'm passionate about.
So do you ever feel like, since you have started this lifestyle, do you ever feel like you were left out in a social situations, or you have
so
to
much
battle temptation?
So yeah, sometimes I go to see my friends and they ask, oh, please can you bring food? So I'm trying my best to buy my food package free in the bulk stores in Hong Kong. And when I arrived with my glass jars, and they're looking at me like, what is he doing? And contrario, they are bringing all the packaged food, and that's, yeah, a bit annoying.
So back to your business. So in the earlier stage, operation-wise, how hard is it to build and grow an e-commerce platform, especially in Hong Kong, which is a packed Asian metropolis where people just like to buy stuff directly in physical stores?
Yeah, you're right. In Hong Kong, people prefer to buy directly when they see the products. We are very lucky because it's very trendy, the zero waste movement, and so that's why we didn't have to do so much advertising online to sell the products. But you're right, because when we were doing so many events, that's where we were selling the most, because people need to see, to touch the products, and also the zero waste products, they're quite new, and so people don't know about them. And for example, the Moon Cup, the menstrual reusable cup that we use for our period, people have so many questions about this, so usually they prefer to see us and to feel the products, to see the sample before buying. So yeah, it's very important, but that's still, we still succeed to have a lot of sales online on our e-shop. Yeah.
How about funding? Have you been bootstrapping your business since the beginning?
Yes, I never had someone else investing in my company, and I used my own funds to launch the company. So at the beginning, I paid 20,000 Hong Kong dollar to launch the company officially, and then I injected 30,000 pounds to buy all the products from the different brands.
And what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned about bootstrapping your own company?
That even if you launch your e-shop in Hong Kong, it's very important that you put every month, even at the beginning, the first months, some fake salary on the side to be sure that it's going to be profitable. Because me at the beginning, I was working for free because it was my passion, so I didn't want to give myself any salary. And that's the biggest mistake I made.
And in terms of mindset too, so in recent years, we've seen a boom, a growing number of sustainable startups, from buying grocery store to reselling business to upcycling brand. But a lot of the founders actually find it really hard to effect real behavioral change, especially in Hong Kong, where there's a report saying Hong Kong is still among the highest generator of trash in Asia. So have you ever encountered any roadblocks when you want to change people's mindset?
Yeah, so short story, I was selling the products in an event, and a client came and told me, oh, I already have 4 different mugs at home, but I'm gonna buy this bamboo coffee cup because the design is so much nicer. I was so shocked, and I didn't want her to buy the products because she already had so many. And so I spoke to her and I tried to understand why she wanted to buy a new one, because she already had so many at home. And I think the best thing is to understand the customer and speak with them. So that's why during the events it's amazing, because we can speak with the clients and understand their purchases. Yeah.
Did anyone say anything that is very memorable? Like your customer say stuff that is maybe about the misconception of zero waste outside?
Yeah, we had some feedback. For example, these clients who asked for the bees wrap, so the bees wrap, for those people who don't know, it's a piece of fabric made with beeswax to cover your food to avoid the cling film and the aluminium foil. And so they were asking if the wax, because it was coming from bees, so they were like, is that any vegan alternative? And same for the bamboo toothbrushes, they were like, yeah, but it's bamboo, so you take the food from the pandas, and so is that possible to have another alternative? So we tried to find solutions to avoid waste, and then there is still clients who are not happy. But it's good, because having this feedback, at least we know that we can do even better.
So it seems like operating a zero waste business in Hong Kong could be quite challenging.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but regarding the waste, for example, that we produce as an e-shop, we never bought any parcels, cardboard parcels. We always reuse them. We ask our customers if they do have to send some to us. Same, we did a partnership with And Other Stories. It's a brand from the group H&M. They had so many boxes for shoes, and so we asked them if we can collect them and bring them to our office to send the parcels. And the person who was working there knew our e-shop, and there are so many boxes that they needed to throw away, and she was like, oh, maybe she's gonna use them, so she's just, no, I went to their office and I collect them in my suitcase and I bring them all back with me in the warehouse to be sure that we reuse, the parcels. Yeah.
So I read from Facebook, unfortunately, the business is going to end by the end of this month.
Yeah.
How hard was it to make that decision?
Oh, it was so hard. For 2 weeks, there was, I needed to make some orders to buy new products from different brands. And I don't know why, but I was like in front of my computer sitting, and I was like, oh, I really need to make the order today, and the day after same, and it was so difficult for me to order the new products because I wasn't sure. And then at the end, I just called my father and I said, Dad, I need your help. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I need to continue the business and try even harder to make it profitable, or should I just switch and focus on my talks that I'm giving now to the companies and organizations about the zero waste movement? And it just gave me the best advice, like focus on one thing only, and it's gonna be better. So I just decided to don't order the new products from the different brands and just focus on one thing, the talks, and that's how I just decided to finish the website. Yeah, so it was difficult because in 2 years we had so much feedbacks of clients who are so happy. They even launched blogs, they even launched YouTube channel to be sure that in Hong Kong there is more influencers about the zero waste movement. So yeah, but it was quite tough.
After all, being through all these things, do you still think Hong Kong is a great place for sustainable startup?
Oh yeah, and there is so many things to do in Hong Kong because the challenge is even bigger because we throw away so many things. So just for your information, every single day we throw away more than 5 million of plastic bottles every day, only in Hong Kong.
That's crazy.
And so, we can't continue like that. And I'm sure you have seen all the articles on Facebook, on internet, giving you some stats about what we throw away every day. And usually the misconception is that people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait that the government change, or that I'm gonna wait that these companies stop to do shit, And we can't continue to think like that. It's very important for you to make the change with your dollar. Vote with your dollar and invest in the company that are worth it and are ethical and local if possible.
So, what misconception do people normally have towards zero waste lifestyle? So I went on internet to have a look. Some people think it's only for rich people, and some people think leading a zero waste lifestyle would make your house look like a Pinterest house. I don't know why, but that comes up in the list. So what are the misconceptions that you are looking to set straight with your talks?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, I think people wait the big corporates, which is not true. The change should come from both sides. And also people think that recycling is the only solution that exists. And no, it's not. I mean, it's only a tiny percentage when you know that when you put something into the plastic bin, only 10% of what you're going to throw away is going to be recyclable. So at the end, it's not the solution. We really need to rethink the whole chain and think twice before we buy this toothpaste wrapped into plastic, or this bottle of shampoo, or this food packaged food as well. We really need to make a change at this point.
Do you think it's easy to lead a zero waste lifestyle then? Because at the beginning you said you find it quite difficult to source all those materials that helped you do it.
So the problem was at the beginning that there was no alternative here in Hong Kong. And now, with Now No Waste, I've sourced different brands from Asia, from USA, from Europe as well. And the problem after 2 years, I would say that it's sometimes the big brands, even if they are selling eco-friendly products, they are still shipping the products directly from China, where they produce, sending the products back to USA or Europe, and then we are buying the thing for Hong Kong directly from their warehouse to here. I was like, so it's not an eco-friendly business because you're selling reusable products, and at the end it's impossible for you to send me the products directly from your factory to Hong Kong. It doesn't make sense, right? So that's why it was quite difficult to find Asian brands. But now, I mean, for the bees wrap, there is local alternatives from people who are making bees wrap in the new territories. There is also brands that produce. Also, I'm not going to say all of the brands, but some of the brands produced in China and are agreed to send us the produce directly here in Hong Kong. So yeah, there is solution. Yeah.
So how could local businesses themselves, what do they do to reduce their waste?
So for Now No Waste, for example, we decided to talk directly to the brands and ask them to don't put any filling with plastic, made of plastic, and same for the tape that they were using. We decided to ask them to use paper tape instead. As I told you earlier, we try to reuse also the parcels. So sometimes we receive the parcels from the brands, and we use the boxes, etc., etc. Yeah.
So what are some of the easier steps that we could take to kickstart a zero waste lifestyle?
So very easy. When you go back home tonight, you take your trash and you put everything on the floor, and you throw away. You check what you throw away the most. So if you throw away the most is plastic bottles, then you invest in a water filter. What you throw away, because 1/3 of our bins is full of food waste. So if you cook, not like me, but if you do, then invest in a composter. And if you don't want to have any composter at home because you're scared of the worms or anything, then you just go to the website of Zero Waste Alliance, or also food waste composting, because there are some food waste bins in Hong Kong. At least 20 of them now exist. If you want to bring your food waste there and avoid to throw away food. Yeah.
Any last word before we have a break?
Yeah, the best waste is no waste.
Alright, so we're going to have a 5 minutes break, and then the second part, it will be up to you guys to bring up your burning questions. And then feel free to get some more drinks at the bar.
And also, if you want, I bring some books here, so the Zero Waste Bible. So there is the French version, but also the English version. So if you want to buy them, they're just here. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Sorry about the mic. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.